The message arrived at 2:14 a.m. No emojis, no explanation, just 6 words that made her stomach drop. Please don't come. The family decided. Her hand started shaking before she even realized she was crying. She read it again, and again, and again. This was her mother, the woman who used to braid her hair before school, the woman who cried when she left for college, the woman who promised she would sit in the front row at her wedding. And now, this. Her phone buzzed again. A notification. Her sister had liked the message. Not replied. Not called. Just liked it. Her chest tightened. A sharp, sudden pain spread beneath her collarbone, like something pressing from the inside. Mom, she whispered into the empty room. She tried calling. No answer. Again. Voicemail. Her breathing became shallow. Her vision blurred. Her fingers went numb. That's when she noticed it. A small swelling at the base of her neck, just under the skin. Tender. Warm. She touched it instinctively and flinched. Not now, she muttered, wiping her tears. Please, not now. But the pain didn't fade. It pulsed, throbbed, almost in rhythm with her racing heart. By morning, the lump was bigger, and the silence from her family louder. The flashback begins 3 weeks earlier. Wedding invitations stacked neatly on the dining table. White envelopes, gold lettering, her name and his, Aisha and Daniel. She remembered how excited her mother sounded on the phone. I'll handle the guest list, her mom had said. Just trust me. She trusted her. She shouldn't have, because slowly, quietly, things began to feel off. Her mother stopped calling as often. Her sister replied with one-word texts. Family group chats went silent. When Aisha asked about the wedding planning, her mom brushed it off. Stress, she said. You know how families are. But Aisha knew something was wrong. And so did her body. The lump on her neck grew daily. At first, she told herself it was nothing. Stress, a reaction, a pimple. But pimples don't pulse. They don't send dull aches down your spine. They don't make your head feel heavy. They don't make swallowing hurt. Still, she ignored it. Because how do you worry about your health when your own mother just uninvited you from your own family? The night before the text, Aisha stood in front of the mirror, fingers hovering over the swelling. It was visible now. Her skin stretched tight, slightly red. She tilted her head. The lump moved. Not much, but enough. Her breath caught. That's impossible, she whispered. Her phone buzzed on the counter. Her mother's name. Relief flooded her until she opened the message. Please don't come. The family wants a simple wedding. Simple, as if erasing her presence would simplify anything. As if cutting her out wouldn't tear something open inside her. She typed back instantly. Mom, what are you talking about? Did I do something wrong? No response. That's when her sister liked the message. That tiny heart icon felt sharper than any knife. Something cracked inside her chest, and something else inside her neck shifted. By morning, Aisha could barely turn her head. The swelling had doubled in size. Her fiancé, Daniel, noticed immediately. Aisha, what is that? She tried to laugh it off. Failed. I don't know, she said. It hurts. He reached out gently. She pulled away, gasping. Okay, he said, serious now. We're going to the doctor. She hesitated. What about my mom? She whispered. What about the wedding? Daniel's jaw tightened. We can't fix them if we lose you. At the clinic, the nurse frowned the moment she saw Aisha's neck. How long has this been there? A few days, Aisha lied. The nurse pressed gently. Aisha screamed. The doctor ordered scans immediately. As Aisha sat alone in the examination room, phone clutched in her hand, a new message finally arrived. From her mother. Only 4 words this time. Please respect our decision. A tear fell onto the screen, and as a machine hummed around her, the pressure inside her neck surged. Sharp, deep, unbearable. The doctor's face changed when he saw the scan. This isn't stress, he said quietly. Aisha swallowed hard. Then what is it? The doctor stared at the screen longer than he should have. Then he said the words that froze her blood. "We need to run more tests. Immediately." And as Daniel squeezed her hand, Aisha realized something terrifying. Whatever was growing inside her body started the same moment her family decided to erase her. But what doctors discovered next left everyone frozen in fear. The hospital corridor smelled like antiseptic and fear. Aisha sat hunched on the examination bed, one hand pressed against her neck, the other gripping Daniel's fingers so tightly his knuckles turned white. Every second felt stretched. Heavy. Loud. The lump throbbed again. She winced. "Doctor?" Daniel asked, trying to keep his voice steady. "What's happening to her?" The doctor didn't answer right away. He was staring at the scan on the screen, zooming in, zooming out, tilting his head slightly, as if hoping the image would change if he looked at it differently. Finally, he exhaled slowly. "This mass," he began, choosing his words carefully, "is not behaving like a normal cyst or infection." Aisha's heart skipped. "What does that mean?" she asked. "It means," the doctor said, "that it's growing faster than it should, and it's pressing dangerously close to critical nerves and blood vessels." Daniel's grip tightened. "Is it cancer?" he asked bluntly. The doctor hesitated. "I'm not ruling anything out yet," he said, "but we need to admit her. Tonight." The word "tonight" echoed in Aisha's ears. "No," she whispered. "I can't. I have my wedding in." The doctor cut her off gently but firmly. "If we wait," he said, "there may not be a wedding to attend." Silence slammed into the room. By evening, Aisha was moved into a private hospital room. Monitors beeped softly, for fluids dripped into her arm. Nurses came and went, whispering to each other just outside the door. Every time they thought she wasn't listening. "She's young. Unusual growth pattern. Never seen swelling like this progress so fast." Aisha closed her eyes, trying to block it out, but the pain wouldn't let her. The lump felt heavier now, as if gravity itself was pulling it downward. Her neck burned. Swallowing felt like dragging glass down her throat. And worst of all, she felt pressure. Deep, internal, as if something inside her was pushing, stretching, demanding space. She reached for her phone. Still nothing from her family. No explanation. No concern. No "are you okay?" Just silence. At 11:37 p.m., alarms went off. A sharp, shrill sound cut through the ward. A nurse rushed in. "Aisha," she said urgently, "can you breathe?" Aisha tried to answer, but only a rasp came out. Her throat felt tight. Too tight. Her vision blurred as panic surged. I can't," she gasped. The nurse slapped the emergency button on the wall. "Doctor, now!" Within seconds, the room filled with people. A senior physician, 2 nurses, a respiratory therapist. "Her oxygen is dropping," someone said. "Heart rate spiking." Aisha clawed at the sheets. "I'm scared," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "Please." Daniel leaned close, voice shaking. "I'm here. Don't close your eyes. Look at me." But her eyelids felt heavy. The doctor examined her neck, his face tightening. "It's swelling further," he muttered. "This doesn't make sense." "What do you mean?" Daniel demanded. "I mean," the doctor said slowly, "we gave medication to reduce inflammation. It should be shrinking, not expanding." The nurse swallowed hard. "It's bigger than it was an hour ago." The room went quiet. Too quiet. They rushed her for an emergency CT scan. The machine roared around her head as she lay frozen, fear pooling in her chest. Her phone vibrated again. A message. Her sister. Hope flared, then shattered. "Please don't make this harder." That was it. No question about her health. No apology. No love. Just blame. Aisha's heart cracked open. Tears slid into her ears as the machine hummed. What did I do to deserve this? She thought, and as if her body had heard the question. The pain spiked violently. She screamed. "Stop the scan," a technician shouted. Doctors rushed in. Blood pressure dropping. Pulse irregular. "She's crashing," someone yelled. Daniel was pushed back as they worked on her. Stay with us," a nurse cried. Aisha's world narrowed to sound and sensation. Beeping, shouting, pressure, and then darkness. She woke up choking. Something was in her throat. A tube. Her eyes flew open as she gagged. Easy, easy, a nurse said quickly. You're okay. You're in ICU. ICU. The word alone sent terror through her. What happened? She croaked. You stopped breathing for a moment, the nurse admitted. We had to intubate you briefly. Daniel appeared beside her, eyes red. I thought I lost you, he whispered. Aisha tried to speak again, but her neck screamed in protest. The doctor entered moments later, face grim. We reviewed the scans, he said, multiple times. We even brought in another specialist. And Daniel asked. The doctor hesitated. There's movement. Aisha froze. Movement, she repeated faintly. The doctor nodded once. The mass is not static, he said. It's shifting position. Daniel shook his head. That's not possible, he said. She's not pregnant. The doctor didn't smile. This isn't pregnancy. Then what is it? Aisha whispered. The doctor met her eyes. We don't know yet, he said, but whatever it is, it's aggressive, and it's reacting to stress. Aisha laughed weakly through tears. Great, she whispered. Even my body hates me now. But no one laughed with her, because they could all see it. The swelling had spread, down toward her collarbone, across the side of her neck. Red, angry, alive. Later that night, as machines beeped steadily, Aisha stared at the ceiling, unable to sleep. Her phone buzzed one last time. A group notification. Family wedding group. Her mother had posted an update. Venue confirmed. Guest list finalized. Aisha's hand shook. She wasn't just uninvited. She was erased. Something inside her snapped. And at that exact moment, the monitor beside her bed let out a long, sharp beep. Her heart rate spiked violently. Nurses rushing again. She's tachycardic. BP's dropping. Daniel shouted for help. Aisha gasped, clutching her chest. The pressure in her neck surged like never before. She felt it pushing, stretching, demanding to come out. The doctor burst in. If we don't act now, he shouted, we might lose her. Aisha's vision blurred. Her last thought before slipping back into darkness was terrifyingly clear. Whatever is inside me isn't done yet, and no one in that room was prepared for what it was about to reveal. The ICU room was quiet in a way that felt unnatural. Not peaceful, not calm. It was the kind of quiet that comes after something breaks. Aisha lay unconscious, machines breathing for her, wires snaking across her chest like thin lifelines holding her to the world. Her face, once radiant, once full of plans, looked pale and distant, as if she were already slipping away. Daniel sat beside her bed, elbows on his knees, hands locked together. He hadn't moved in hours. Every beat made his heart jump. Every pause made him stop breathing. She promised me she'd be okay, he whispered to no one. She always does. A nurse adjusted a monitor and glanced at him gently. You should rest, she said. Daniel shook his head. If I close my eyes, he replied, voice breaking, I'm scared she won't be here when I open them. Outside the ICU, another kind of storm was brewing. Aisha's phone lay on a small table, buzzing every few minutes. Family messages, wedding updates, logistics. No one asked how she was. No one asked if she was alive. Until one message finally came through. From her mother. Why are you doing this to us? Daniel stared at the screen in disbelief. Doing this? He typed back with shaking fingers. She's in ICU. She nearly stopped breathing. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, a reply. You always exaggerate. This is not the time for drama. Daniel felt something inside him turn cold. Hours later, Aisha stirred. Her eyelids fluttered. Her fingers twitched. Daniel jumped up instantly. Aisha, he whispered urgently. Hey, I'm here. Her eyes opened slowly, unfocused at first, then locking onto his face. Tears welled up immediately. I'm sorry, she whispered hoarsely. For what? Daniel asked, leaning closer. For ruining everything, she said. The wedding, my family, your life. Daniel shook his head. No, he said firmly. You didn't ruin anything. You're sick. That's not your fault. Aisha swallowed painfully. They hate me, she murmured. Daniel didn't respond, because denying it would be a lie. Later that afternoon, Aisha's sister, Miriam, finally showed up. She stood awkwardly at the doorway, arms crossed, eyes darting around the room like she didn't belong there. Aisha saw her immediately. Her chest tightened. You came, Aisha whispered. Miriam nodded stiffly. Mom made me, she said. She said it would look bad if no one visited. The words hit harder than any diagnosis. Daniel stood up. Maybe you shouldn't have come, he said coldly. Miriam bristled. You don't understand, she snapped. Do you know how much pressure Mom is under right now? Aisha let out a weak laugh. Pressure? She asked. I can't breathe, Miriam. Miriam looked away. This wedding has been planned for months, she said. You disappearing like this. Disappearing? Daniel exploded. She nearly died. Miriam's voice cracked. You think I don't know that, she shouted. You think this is easy for me. Aisha stared at her sister. Then why, she whispered, tears slipping down her temples, did you like Mom's message telling me not to come? The room went silent. Miriam froze. I didn't mean it like that, she said quickly. You didn't unlike it either, Aisha replied. Miriam's shoulders sagged. You don't get it, she said quietly. Mom's been telling everyone you're doing this for attention. Aisha felt something inside her collapse. I'm dying, she said softly, and she thinks I want attention. That night, Daniel found Aisha staring at the wall, silent. What are you thinking about? He asked gently. My childhood, she replied. Daniel frowned. You never talk about it. Aisha hesitated, because it was easier to pretend it didn't shape me. She swallowed. When I was 10, she continued, I got sick, really sick. High fever, rash. I fainted at school. Daniel listened closely. They took me to the hospital, she said. But my parents didn't stay. They had a wedding to attend. Daniel's jaw tightened. I was alone, Aisha said. All night. I learned something then. What? Daniel asked. That being inconvenient is worse than being sick. Her voice trembled. So I learned to stay quiet, to ignore pain, to not complain. Daniel reached for her hand. And now? He asked. And now? She whispered, my body is screaming because I spent my whole life pretending it wasn't. The next morning, the doctor returned with new test results. His expression was unreadable. We found something unusual in her blood work, he said. Daniel stood. What kind of unusual? The doctor hesitated. There are markers indicating prolonged stress, he said. Not recent, long-term. Aisha closed her eyes. Chronic suppression. The doctor continued. Emotional stress can manifest physically. The body keeps score. Miriam scoffed from the corner. So you're saying this is her fault? She asked. The doctor looked at her sharply. No, he said. I'm saying something has been building for years. And now it's erupting. Aisha opened her eyes. Erupting how? She asked. The doctor didn't answer immediately. We're running additional tests, he said. But there's something else. Daniel's stomach dropped. There are signs of an older injury, the doctor said slowly. Something that never healed properly. Aisha frowned. I don't remember any injury. The doctor nodded. That's what worries us. That evening, Daniel went home briefly to shower. When he returned, Aisha was crying. What happened? He asked urgently. She handed him her phone. A message from her mother. If you loved this family, you wouldn't be causing this chaos. Daniel felt rage burn through him. She's sick, he typed back angrily. She's fighting for her life. A reply came almost instantly. Then she should have fought harder to be here for her sister. Aisha turned her face away. I'm invisible to them, she whispered. Daniel leaned close. You're not invisible to me, he said. And you're not invisible to whatever this is. It knows you're here. Aisha shivered. What do you mean? Daniel glanced at the swelling on her neck. It's like, he said carefully, your body is finally telling a story you were never allowed to tell. Aisha's eyes widened. Before she could respond, the monitor beeped sharply again. Her heart rate jumped. The doctor rushed in, eyes locked on the screen. It's reacting again, he muttered. Reacting to what? Daniel asked. The doctor looked at Aisha. To emotional distress. Aisha's breath hitched. So every time my family hurts me, she whispered, this thing gets stronger. The doctor didn't deny it. And that realization, more than any scan or symptom, terrified everyone in the room, because it meant the real trigger wasn't just medical. It was personal, and whatever was growing inside Aisha had been fed for years, by silence, by rejection, by a family that taught her pain didn't matter. And somewhere deep within her body, that truth was preparing to come out. The envelope arrived just after midnight. No return address, no stamp. It was slid under the ICU waiting room door like a secret that didn't want to be seen. Daniel noticed it first. At first, he thought it was hospital paperwork. Another bill, another form, another reminder that life keeps moving even when yours has stopped. But something about it felt wrong. The paper was thick, yellowed, old, not hospital-issued. He picked it up slowly. On the front, written in careful, deliberate handwriting, were just 4 words. She was never supposed to know. Daniel's pulse spiked. He looked around. The hallway was empty. Nurses moved silently behind glass walls. No one appeared to be watching. He slipped the envelope into his jacket and went back into Aisha's room. She was awake, staring at the ceiling. You're pale, she said. Daniel hesitated. Someone left this, he replied, pulling out the envelope. Aisha's eyes narrowed the moment she saw it. That handwriting, she whispered. I've seen it before. Daniel frowned. Where? Aisha swallowed. My father's desk, she said. When I was a kid. Her father had died when she was 16. Officially, it was a heart attack. Sudden, unexplained, closed case. But Aisha remembered something else. He was always hiding papers, she said softly. Letters, old files. He'd locked them away whenever Mom entered the room. Daniel carefully opened the envelope. Inside was a folded letter and a small, brittle photograph. The photograph showed a younger Aisha, maybe 9 years old. She was standing in a hospital hallway. But the strange part? She wasn't alone. There was another child beside her. A boy. Same age. Same hospital bracelet. Same swelling on the neck. Daniel's breath caught. Aisha, he whispered. Who is this? Her hands began to tremble. I don't know, she said. I swear, I don't remember him. She stared at the photo as if it might suddenly speak. Then she noticed something else. In the corner of the image, partially cut off, a military insignia. Her stomach dropped. My father, she whispered. He used to work for the Defense Ministry. Daniel looked up sharply. You never told me that. Because he told me not to, she replied. He said it was temporary. Classified. Daniel unfolded the letter. The paper crackled like it hadn't been touched in years. He began to read aloud. If you are reading this, then I failed. Failed to protect her. Failed to keep my promise. Daniel paused. Aisha covered her mouth. He continued. The program was shut down after the second incident. They told us the risks were minimal. They were wrong. Daniel felt a chill crawl up his spine. The children showed delayed reactions. Years. Sometimes decades. We were ordered to destroy all records. Aisha's heart pounded violently now. Daniel, she whispered. Stop. But he couldn't. If symptoms appear, swelling, pain, pressure near the neck or spine, do not take her to a public hospital. They will recognize the markers. The monitor beeped faster. I tried to warn her mother. She refused to listen. Said appearances mattered more. Aisha let out a broken sob. My mother, she whispered. She knew. Daniel's voice shook as he read the final lines. I am so sorry, my daughter. I wanted you to have a normal life. I prayed it would stay buried. The letter slipped from Daniel's hands. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. "This doesn't make sense," Daniel said. "What program? What markers?" Aisha stared at the photo again. "That boy," she whispered. "Why don't I remember him?" Before Daniel could answer, the door opened. Dr. Hale stepped in, his expression tense. "You need to see this," he said quietly. They followed him to a secure room deeper in the hospital. A scan glowed on a large screen. The swelling near Aisha's neck was visible, but now highlighted in red. "This isn't behaving like a typical cyst or tumor," Dr. Hale said. "It's reactive, adaptive." Daniel frowned. "Adaptive to what?" Dr. Hale hesitated. "Stress, hormonal spikes, trauma responses." Aisha felt dizzy. "So it feeds on pain," she said. Dr. Hale didn't deny it. "There's more," he added. "We ran a deeper genetic scan." He pulled up a second image. 2 scans side by side. "Aisha's," he said, "and another patient from 18 years ago." Daniel's breath stopped. The scans were identical. That patient, Dr. Hale continued, was removed from records. No name, no outcome. Aisha felt her chest tighten. "What happened to him?" she asked. Dr. Hale looked away. "He didn't survive." Silence crashed down on the room. Aisha's knees nearly gave out. "That boy in the photo," she whispered. "That was him." Dr. Hale nodded slowly. "We believe so." Daniel clenched his fists. "So this thing," he said, voice tight, "was planted in her." Dr. Hale chose his words carefully. "Introduced," he said, "under the guise of a medical trial." Aisha shook her head violently. "No," she said. "I was a child." Dr. Hale met her eyes. So were all of them. Back in her room, Aisha couldn't stop shaking. "My whole life," she whispered, "was built on a lie." Daniel sat beside her, holding her tightly. "Your father tried to protect you," he said. "But my mother didn't," Aisha replied. "She thought of the wedding messages. The coldness, the blame. She always knew something was wrong with me," Aisha said, "and she chose denial." Daniel's jaw tightened. "There's more," he said quietly. She looked at him. "I found something else in the envelope." He pulled out a smaller slip of paper. Just one sentence. "If it activates, it may not be alone." Aisha's blood ran cold. "Not alone," she repeated. Before Daniel could respond, a nurse burst into the room. "Doctor," she shouted, "you need to come now." The monitors were spiking again. Aisha cried out as pain shot through her neck, sharp, burning, alive. "It feels like it's moving," she gasped. Dr. Hale rushed in, eyes wide. "Prepare the OR," he ordered. "Now." "But, doctor," the nurse said, voice trembling, "the imaging." "What?" Dr. Hale snapped. "There's a second mass," she said. "Smaller, deeper." Aisha screamed. Daniel felt his heart drop. "There's more than one," he demanded. Dr. Hale stared at the screen. "It's spreading," he whispered. Aisha's vision blurred. As they wheeled her away, her phone buzzed one last time. A message from her mother. "Please don't come. The family wants peace." Aisha laughed weakly through tears. "Peace," she whispered. "At last." The doors slammed shut, and as the surgical lights flickered on, everyone realized the truth they had been avoiding. This wasn't just a medical emergency. It was the resurfacing of something buried long ago, something designed to stay hidden, something that never truly went away. The operating room lights blazed like an interrogation, cold, unforgiving, exposing everything. Aisha lay motionless on the table, her body prepped, surrounded by masked figures moving with terrifying precision. The rhythmic beep of the monitor was the only sound reminding everyone she was still alive. For now, Dr. Hale stood at the head of the table, hands steady, but his eyes betrayed him. He had performed hundreds of complex surgeries. This one scared him. "Scans up," he ordered. A massive screen flickered to life, displaying Aisha's neck and upper spine in horrifying clarity. There it was. Not one, but 2 distinct structures. One larger mass near the surface, another smaller one deeper, wrapped dangerously close to the spinal cord. Dr. Hale swallowed. "This is no longer a simple extraction," he said quietly. A nurse leaned closer. "Doctor, it's not shaped like a tumor." Another nurse whispered, "It looks organized." Dr. Hale exhaled slowly. "Yes," he said, "it does." Daniel watched from behind the glass, fists clenched so tightly his nails dug into his skin. He could hear nothing, only see. The scalpel glinted as Dr. Hale made the first incision. The room seemed to hold its breath. Minutes passed. Then, one of the nurses stumbled back. "Oh, my God," she whispered. Dr. Hale froze. "What is it?" another doctor asked. Dr. Hale leaned closer, eyes narrowing. "That's not tissue," he said. Daniel's heart slammed against his ribs. The camera zoomed in on the surgical feed. And then, the room erupted. "What the hell is that?" A sharp intake of breath echoed through the OR. The structure beneath Aisha's skin wasn't flesh. It wasn't bone. It was encased. Smooth, dark, veined with faint, pulsing lines of light. Almost like circuitry. One nurse covered her mouth. "It's responding," she whispered. As if on cue, the monitor spiked. Aisha's heart rate shot up. "She's reacting," someone shouted. Dr. Hale barked orders. "Sedation, now." But before they could act, the mass contracted. A visible ripple ran through it. And then, it moved. A scream tore through the room. IT moved. Daniel felt the blood drain from his face. "That's impossible," another doctor said. "Tumors don't." "This one does," Dr. Hale snapped. Dr. Hale stepped back, trembling. "This isn't organic alone," he said. "There's synthetic material integrated into it." Silence followed. Synthetic, meaning man-made, meaning intentional. A specialist was rushed in. Dr. Kessler, a bioengineering consultant who had been summoned quietly hours earlier. He stared at the screen for a long moment. Then his face went pale. "I've seen this before," he said. Dr. Hale turned sharply. "Where?" Dr. Kessler hesitated. "During my residency," he said. "A classified case. Child patient. Same markers." Daniel's heart sank. "The boy," he whispered. Dr. Kessler nodded grimly. "He didn't survive," he said, "but not because of the mass." "Then why?" Dr. Hale demanded. "Because when they tried to remove it completely, Dr. Kessler swallowed. His nervous system shut down." The room went deadly quiet. Daniel pressed his forehead against the glass. "You're telling me," he said hoarsely, "that removing this thing could kill her?" Dr. Hale didn't look away from the screen. "Yes," he said. Aisha stirred slightly on the table. Her lips moved. Dr. Hale leaned close. "Aisha," he said urgently, "can you hear me?" Her eyes fluttered open. "Barely. Hurts," she whispered. Daniel's breath caught. "I know," Dr. Hale said gently, "but I need you to focus." She tried. Dr. Hale lowered his voice. "We believe this structure has been part of you for a very long time." Aisha's eyes widened faintly. "My father," she whispered. Dr. Hale nodded. "It was introduced when you were young," he said, "and it adapted as you grew." Tears leaked from the corners of Aisha's eyes. "So I was never sick," she whispered. "I was altered." No one corrected her. Dr. Kessler pulled Dr. Hale aside. "There's more," he said quietly. Dr. Hale stiffened. "The second mass," Dr. Kessler continued. "It's dormant. For now." "For now?" Dr. Hale repeated. "Yes," Dr. Kessler said. "These systems were designed in pairs." Dr. Hale felt a chill. "One to integrate," Dr. Kessler said. "One to activate under extreme stress." Daniel overheard every word. "What happens when it activates?" he demanded. Dr. Kessler hesitated. "In previous models," he said, "activation triggered a systemic response." "Define response," Daniel snapped. Dr. Kessler met his eyes. "Collapse," he said. "Or control." Daniel stared at him. "Control of what?" Dr. Kessler didn't answer. The monitors screamed. Aisha's body arched suddenly. Spinal reaction, a nurse shouted. The smaller mass pulsed violently. It's waking up, Dr. Hale said. Aisha screamed. Not in pain. In terror. It's inside my head, she cried. I can feel it thinking. Daniel shouted her name. Dr. Hale made a decision. We removed the surface unit, he said. Partially. Now. But, Doctor, someone protested. Now, he roared. The scalpel moved again. Carefully, millimeter by millimeter. The mass resisted, as if clinging, as if aware. Finally, a portion separated. A thick, cable-like strand snapped free. The room froze. Because the moment it did, Aisha went limp. Flatline. The monitor let out a single, piercing tone. No, no, no. Daniel screamed. Code blue, someone yelled. Hands flew into motion. CPR. Defibrillator. Shouts overlapping. Clear. Her body jolted. Nothing. Again. Another shock. Still nothing. Daniel slid down the wall, sobbing. This is my fault, he whispered. I should have stopped this. Then, a blip, a beat, another. The monitor stabilized. She's back, a nurse cried. A collective gasp filled the room. But Dr. Hale wasn't relieved. He stared at the screen in horror, because as Aisha's heart restarted, the second mass glowed brighter. Dr. Kessel whispered, It's adapting. Dr. Hale's voice was barely audible. To what? To her survival, Dr. Kessel replied. Hours later, Aisha lay unconscious again, alive, but changed. The removed fragments sat sealed in a reinforced container. Military personnel stood outside the OR, silent, watching. Daniel noticed them immediately. Who are they? He demanded. Dr. Hale hesitated. They've been notified, he said. Notified of what? That the program is no longer theoretical. Daniel felt ice flood his veins. You're saying, he said slowly, she's proof. Dr. Hale nodded once. And they won't let her go, Daniel said. Dr. Hale didn't deny it. Daniel looked at Aisha through the glass. Her chest rose and fell gently. For now. She survived, Daniel said. That's all that matters. Dr. Hale met his eyes. For now, he echoed, because buried inside Aisha, something had been awakened, something that didn't want to be removed, something that had waited decades to finish what it was designed to do. And this surgery, this so-called rescue, may have been the very thing that triggered the end. The hospital went quiet after midnight. Not the calm kind, the dangerous kind, the kind where something is waiting. Aisha lay alone in a dimly lit recovery room, machines humming softly around her. Her breathing was steady. Her heart beat normal. Too normal. Daniel sat beside her, afraid to blink. Every time her chest rose, he felt relief. Every time it fell, he feared it wouldn't rise again. Dr. Hale stood near the doorway, arms crossed, eyes never leaving the monitors. She shouldn't be this stable, he said quietly. Daniel looked up. Isn't that good? Dr. Hale didn't answer right away. When the first unit was removed, he said slowly, we expected systemic shock, inflammation, weakness. And Daniel asked. And instead, Dr. Hale continued, her vitals improved. Daniel's stomach tightened. You're saying it helped her? Dr. Hale nodded once. That device, he said, lowering his voice, was regulating something, suppressing something. Daniel felt a chill creep up his spine. Suppressing what? Before Dr. Hale could answer, a soft beep echoed from the monitor. Then another, too rhythmic, too deliberate. Dr. Hale stepped closer. What's happening? Daniel asked. The doctor's eyes widened slightly. Her brain activity, he said. It's increasing. Aisha's fingers twitched, then clenched. Her eyes snapped open. She gasped sharply, sucking in air like she had been underwater for years. Aisha. Daniel rushed to her side. You're okay. You're safe. She stared straight ahead, pupils dilated. No, she whispered. Daniel froze. What do you mean? She turned her head slowly and looked directly at him. Not through him. At him. "It's louder now," she said. Daniel's heart raced. "What is?" She swallowed. "The other one." Dr. Hale stiffened. "What do you feel, Aisha?" he asked carefully. She closed her eyes. "It's like," she struggled to find the words, "like a voice that doesn't speak." Daniel's hands shook. "A voice?" "It doesn't use words," she continued. "It uses pressure, memory, fear." The monitor spiked again. Dr. Hale whispered, "That's impossible." Aisha shook her head. "It knows I survived," she said, "and it's angry." An hour later, the military returned. This time, they didn't wait outside. Two men in dark suits entered the room without knocking. Their presence sucked the air out of the space. One of them nodded at Dr. Hale. "We're taking custody of the patient," he said calmly. Daniel jumped to his feet. "No," he snapped. "You're not taking her anywhere." The man didn't even look at him. "The asset has activated," he said. "We can't risk exposure." "Asset?" Daniel stepped in front of Aisha's bed. "She's not an asset," he shouted. "She's my wife." The second man finally spoke. She stopped being just a patient the moment the second unit woke up. Aisha watched silently, listening, feeling. "You knew," she said suddenly. Both men turned to her. "You always knew this would happen," she said. "Didn't you?" One of them hesitated. "Long enough." "Yes," he admitted, "but not that she'd survive." Aisha smiled faintly. "That's a problem," she whispered. "I always survive." The lights flickered, just for a second. Then again, Dr. Hale looked at the monitors. Her brain activity was off the charts. "This isn't stress," he muttered. "This is synchronization." Daniel grabbed her hand. "Aisha," he pleaded, "talk to me." She squeezed his fingers. "Hard." "It doesn't want them," she whispered. Daniel frowned. "Who?" "The people who put it inside me," she said. "It remembers them." The lights flickered again. This time, alarms chirped softly. One of the suited men stepped back. "What's happening?" he asked. Aisha's gaze locked onto him. "You woke it up," she said calmly, "and now it's learning." The monitors surged, then, suddenly, went flat. Not her heart. Everything else. Screens blacked out. Lights died. The room plunged into darkness. Emergency power kicked in seconds later, but in that brief moment, something changed. When the lights came back on, Aisha was sitting upright. No wires attached. No monitors beeping. Just her, breathing, calm. The men stared in horror. "That's not possible," one whispered. Aisha tilted her head. "Neither was surviving," she replied. Dr. Hale backed away slowly. "Aisha," he said carefully, "how did you do that?" She looked at him with sad eyes. "I didn't," she said. "It did." Daniel felt tears burn his eyes. "Is it going to hurt you?" he asked. She shook her head. "No," she said softly. "It's protecting me now." The suited men exchanged a look. "This changes everything," one said. "Yes," Aisha replied. "It does." She swung her legs off the bed. Guards reached for their weapons and froze, not by force, by fear, because every screen in the room flickered back on, all at once, displaying the same message, a single line of text, subject no longer contained. Aisha looked at Daniel one last time. "I spent my life being ignored," she said, "being silenced, being told not to come." She stood, "And now," she whispered, "it's their turn to listen." The alarms began screaming throughout the hospital. Not for her, for everyone else. And as the doors slammed shut and security rushed in, one terrifying truth became impossible to ignore. They thought the nightmare was over, but in reality, it had only just begun.